Okay. So as opposed to our, the affirmative side, we do have evidence in terms of, I would actually like to start with the second argument first. They are saying that basically Paul Ryan's telling them that they should calm down, and that they're still getting the work permits, getting the word for it. For our argument, we state that basically passing DACA would hurt the American working poor. That does actually impact the economy, which are the first affirmative did state in her second argument. From Politico magazine, George J. Barras is a professor of economics and social policy at the Harvard Kennedy School and author of the forthcoming We Want Workers Unraveling the Immigration Natives. He basically states that both low and high skilled natives are affected by the influx of immigrants, but because a disproportionate percentage of immigrants have few skills, it is low-skilled American workers, including many blacks and Hispanics, who have suffered most from this wage dip. The monetary loss is sizable. The typical high school dropout earns about $25,000 annually. So according to census data, immigrants admitted in the past 2 decades lacking a high school diploma have increased the size of the low-skilled workforce by roughly about 25%. As a result, their earnings, this particularly vulnerable group, dropped by about between $800 and $1,500 a year. This basically is more of a disadvantage in terms of the economic impact because the loss of illegal immigrants does not damage the economy, but it basically helps the American workforce average wage. Going to their third argument, they're stating that Nancy, actually pronounced Pelosi, does side with Donald Trump, crafting like a specific plan to stay in the country. We have an argument stating that DACA is not originally constitutional, therefore it should not be law. From the IRL, which means Immigration Reform Law Institute, from the staff of the website on September 5th of 2017, is similar to the Deferred Action for Parent of Americans and Lawful Permanent Residents, which is the DACA program that Obama had originally planned, which was enjoined by the Supreme Court last year. DACA granted blanket relief from the deportation and work permits to hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens. Violating both federal and law and the Constitution, this Obama program was an affront to Congress, who had already rejected legislation to grant amnesty to DACA covered illegal aliens on countless accounts. So this basically opposes the affirmative claim of inherency due to Congress rejecting the proposal of numerous accounts and not having to create DACA as a law. So furthermore, it should not have existed in the first place. And going back to the first argument, I would say, they argued that they don't know where they originally had come from due to the first immigrants, but as a result, we also don't know where they came from in terms of their clean records and criminal records. Our tagline basically is migrants are not all harmless, but some are terrorists and more than national average. From the article, Call Me, 15% of terror cases came as refugees from May 18, 2017. From Mark Krikorian, who's a nationally recognized expert on immigration issues and served as an executive director of the Center of Immigration Studies since 1995. So our quote basically says that 15% of FBI's terrorism cases are refugees. Basically state, going to my analysis, this basically solves the problem that possible that DACA recipients and other, yeah. And now I stand for cross-examination.
That's you.
I apologize if I went out of order.
All right, so this is going to relate to your second argument. Can you please state the source for that?
Yeah, so it's from Politico magazine. The author was George J. Barras, who is a professor of economics and social policy at the Harvard Kennedy School and the author of the forthcoming article, We Want Workers Unraveling the Immigration Narrative.
Okay, and then can you please state that tagline as well?
Passing DACA would not hurt the American working poor.
And how does that help?
It helps because Basically, it just states that like we're not damaging the economy if, it basically helps protect the average wage. It protects the American average wage if we're losing, even if we're losing the illegal immigrants, it's not really much of an impact that we're making onto the economy.
Okay, and that's all I have.
Okay.